So do you think the left has some work to do in developing over-the-top media to be able to bypass the main network?
Yeah, so we have TYT as a giant network, but we have a lot of great progressive and populist shows that are not part of TYT. That's in the left-wing ecosystem. So I don't think that that's the issue. I don't think that there isn't enough shows. I think that there's a couple others. One, on the right, you guys do a great job of coalescing.
Good point. That's true. They do a good job at coalescing.
Do a couple of things well. You work together well, and you're more welcoming, if I'm being honest.
Kill.
We're glad
Kamala is welcoming to. Well, I know how he would spin this, but she's welcoming to everyone from Dick Cheney to AOC to anyone who's just like in favor of democracy and being based. And if you disagree, like Chip Roy is a perfect example. He's like, I'm a principled conservative. I don't want to raise the debt ceiling. And Trump's already like, we got to primary this motherfucker. Even though he's a big fucking MAGA Republican. It's insane.
These guys, how do they feel about the Senate races in Georgia? Were they, maybe I'm projecting Hassan's view and the other crazy leftists, but were these guys happy when Warnock and Ossoff won? Or how do these guys feel about, like, obviously, like, Sinema and
Manchin?
Yeah, I wanted to say Hansen. Yeah, Manchin. This is what I mean. This is what I'm saying. You guys have seen it by this point, right?
Yeah,
like it's just they're playing in a totally different game. It's college versus NFL. It's 3 downs versus 4. Like they play a totally different game. They got a totally different set of standards.
And you're more welcoming, if I'm being honest.
We're glad Cenk's here, right, everybody?
Oh my God. Pat my belly, rub my belly.
A lot of people on the left know this as well. If you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right?
No.
Come join us, right?
No, this is not 5%, Cenk. This is you showing your hand because you've been conquered. You've been conquered as a man, and you've been conquered as a political entity. And so they know that you're showing your ass and you're showing your belly, and so they're toying with you. That's why they're being so generous to you.
Well, if you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're
like, that's what you're doing. Does he not see that? That
a fascist, right? But if you push enough people out and you guys welcome enough people in, eventually you win the popular vote. That's what I warned them about, and that's what happened, right? So, look, I propose simple rules. The 3 rules of the internet. Rule number 1, when we disagree, we fight. There's nothing wrong with that.
Except when it's destiny, except when it's someone who actually disagrees on the left.
Yeah, wait, why does he say this? He shouldn't be allowed to say, you literally dodge. A literal dodger.
Dodge me.
No, rule number 2 is afterwards we must have a beer together, okay?
Unless you're an airline worker.
And rule number 3 is, for God's sake, when we agree, let's unite.
Like, I know that this would probably, like, kill him if this would shock his soul. But does Cenk realize or not realize that he has more in common, policy-wise, with a corporate Democrat than he ever would with a MAGA Republican? Like 9-to-1, like run down the policies. And you're going to have more of an alignment with the most shill establishment Democrat, corporate donor-backed, whatever the fuck, right, than you ever would.
Joe Manchin.
Yeah.
Crystal Ball, when Crystal Ball and Cenk had their debate a couple of weeks ago, she even made that point. She said, Cenk, you and I on policy agree probably on 9 out of 10 issues. And she says, the thing is, though, I have much more in common, and by extension, so do you, with the most lib establishment Democrat than anybody in the Republican Party. And yeah, it's so he can't escape from that. So it makes what he's doing here just seem like a total fucking grift because he's contradicting himself. Like, when he says, that MAGA embraces anybody who agrees with them 5% of the time. Well, it depends. Like, Charlie's doing it now because he sees that there's a tactical advantage there. But Pisco made some really good points about how if you disagree with Trump at all, if you deviate from Trump at all or MAGA, like look at what Kyle Rittenhouse,
look at what Rittenhouse, look at Joe Rogan. Yeah, like these guys got literally cult bullied. They were sending cult tweets like, "Hey man, I know that you might be like misguided. Like message me. Like let's have a chat." Like the dude was announcing he was like addicted to fucking heroin. Like holy shit! Like they're gonna stage an intervention for these guys.
And the minute they got in line, they're like, "Great, happy to have you back."
Yeah. Oh my god. God.
Cat Turd was like ripping up his posters of Kyle Rittenhouse and saying he's a monster.
Do you remember? Wait, weren't there people that were like setting fire to their Nikes or whatever over what was it? Nike not supporting, was it Ye or Donald Trump or something? Remember when guys were old white dudes were setting their shoes on fire? Oh my God.
So for the left, we have too much division. We almost never unify. I don't mean with the right. I mean internally. The left loves to attack one another. I love you guys on the left. I love you. But every once in a while, when we get a yes, when we agree, can we please unite?
What's the yes? What's the yes?
He'll never say it because these are fake. These are fake conversations. None of this is real.
This is all performative.
It's all a meme. What are these guys? Charlie Kirk is the head of Turning Point USA, which is one of the larger fundraising, whatever membership
fascist
bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Cenk has been in politics for 30 years or whatever. Would you know that if you listen to this? It just sounds like a random fucking old dude who supported Bernie, and it sounds like a random fucking Trump sycophant. Like where are my qualified political pundits with like decades of experience in politicking? Like, what can we have? Like anything of substance being like anything of substance being discussed here?
Is for the old, I'm being honest, and on average, not everyone, of course.
Wait, can you pause? I think that if he said we need to reduce the military budget, I think Charlie Kirk would step in and be like,
hold on there, buddy.
Hold on. I'm not sure we agree on that.
What about Muslims?
Older Democratic voters, please turn off your television sets. They're lying to you. They're tricking you. They're trying to get you to vote for corruption. They're trying to get you to vote for policies you don't even want. So if we can do those...
Which ones? He won't say, ever.
Name one.
Two things, then we'll be in great shape.
So name one policy that the corporate Dems want you to support that you shouldn't be. Like, name one.
I'm not sure how you'll feel about this, but...
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
There is not a consensus. There is a belief with some people, like Seth Moulton and others, that some of the embrace of what we would call wokeism or whatever.
Oh yes, pause. So now he's gonna get his pound of flesh. So Charlie has let him
to get them to disavow
from
all
the
the
well.
trans stuff.
Yes.
I need you to tell me how evil those trans people are before we move on. Yeah, how evil and horrible.
Some of the embrace of what we would call wokeism or whatever was a reason why Democrats had a less than desirable election outcome. Do you subscribe to that belief?
Absolutely.
How do you interpret that when some people say we need to kind of shed away some of the more new elements of the cultural implications of politics outside of economics, like the Seth Moulton belief where he says the trans stuff hurt us?
Yeah, so look, guys, on that stuff, I've been having these debates internally with the left wing. And I explained yesterday, actually, on the Young Turks. Look, everybody's positions are in a different part of the left-right spectrum and on different policies.
Pause it.
So
this is what you say. My LGBTQ brothers and sisters and they themsters. I support you. We may not agree on fucking everything in sports or whatever, but I support you. You are valid. You are all people who deserve to be supported and have equal rights. He would never fucking say it in front of this crowd because he has no balls. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's waffling everywhere. Let's see. Or not waffling, but he's just like making it so vague so there's nothing even disagreeable.
Yeah, he's hedging.
I explained yesterday, actually, on the Young Turks. Look, everybody's positions are in a different part of the left-right spectrum and on different policies. So I can name you policies where you say, oh, that's pretty moderate, right? I can name you policies that, I mean, you're not sure is left or right-wing, but that is definitely popular.
Name one.
Right? But some of my policies might be called extreme left in America. So, for example, I'm massively in favor of gun control.
Wow.
Whoa, you're skipping.
You told them not to boo, but I knew they'd boo on that one.
They paused to their respect. You are asking for it, Cenk.
Yeah, I did ask for it. So my point to my left-wing allies is, am I going to emphasize and insist and demand on my gun control policies when we're in the middle of it?
Notice how he picks an issue that's like not like politically that relevant right now. I know that some conservatives might oh no, it is. No, but it's really not. Like, notice how he could have said something related to immigration or the border, right? Or he could have said something about, like divesting business or something that is a little bit more relevant or pressing or something right now, but it wasn't. He went to like the classic.
It was clear it's clear what Charlie was asking for. Charlie was referencing Seth Moulton, and he's talking about the wokeism. He's talking about transgenderism. Yeah, and rather than he there's a little like filibuster for a second. He's like, what am I going to talk about? What am I talking about? Rather than say, Charlie, just because we don't agree on like trans people in women's sports doesn't mean I don't support trans people's right to have equal rights and protections in this country. I support he didn't do that.
Yeah.
He went to an issue
because
he's a fucking coward.
Yeah.
Size and insist and demand on my gun control policies when we're in the middle of a national election. No, because I know those are not winning issues.
If he doesn't,
at this point, I've got more work to do to convince the American people before we get there. So if on trans issues or any other or crime issues, etc., if you really believe in the most far left position, as I do on gun control, for example, that's okay. But you've got to know what to emphasize and what not to emphasize. And so if you say, no, I'm going to die on every extreme hill, well, you will. Electorally, politically, you will die on that hill. And then you lose on all of your issues. Because it's sometimes a binary game. Certainly elections are. So you got to know what to convince the American people of and what to hold your ground on. And the number one thing to hold your ground on is constitutional rights. So I'm going to do some...
Except for the Second Amendment.
Like the Second Amendment.
You set yourself up for that one, motherfucker. He looks like an idiot. Look, he's a clown for Charlie. Yeah. He's a clown for Charlie.
Constitutional rights. So I'm going to do some...
Like the Second Amendment.
Oh, my God.
The standing ovation to clown him, too, yeah.
Imagine being so proud. You won't defend trans people?
So, no, I know.
Voice cracking.
Guys,
look at the little touch. Look at that little touch.
No, I saw it. Yeah, very cute.
That's an alpha touch.
Very
That's
friendly.
an alpha touch. That's saying I'm your superior and
I'm under control.
Don't worry.
I'm in control right now.
I'm in total control.
Yeah.
Look at that. We totally disagree on that issue, but we just...
You were asking for that one. I'm sorry.
No problem.
He should have responded.
No problem.
Or like the 14th Amendment.
Everything's okay.
No, but look, but that was an important moment because we totally disagree on that issue.
But we can still agree that we should still support the Republicans wholeheartedly, even though we totally disagree, and he'll never come to me on any issue whatsoever.
But we just shook hands anyway. And you know what we'll do afterwards? We'll have a beer.
And then we'll continue to vote for and support the not Democratic Party.
Yeah. So...
You know what a good question would be here if this was a real conversation? What issues are worth dying on the Hill for? Jank? Yeah. It's definitely not Gaza, right? Because there's no fucking way that you would support Donald Trump or not support literally anybody besides Donald Trump on that, right? What issues are worth fighting for?
You know what it is when you disagree on something and then you fight about it and then you have a beer afterwards? That's called America. So
then have us on your show.
Agreement, and this I don't know which way this is going to go. Okay. So when we talk about trans issues in terms of sports, I know we have massive disagreements. Okay? And on one of those issues, professional sports, I agree with you guys. On high school sports, I don't. We'll go get into a bloody battle on that. Okay? But I want to ask you guys something. Do you believe that trans Americans should have the same constitutional rights as all Americans to employment, health care, and housing? Constitutional rights.
They don't even agree on that.
Do you want me to translate? Well, there is no constitutional right to housing.
Okay, so I hear you.
Oh my God. Do you see? That's what I'm saying, right? Like he's done so much work to reach and reach and reach and reach and reach. And where's the good faith? Remember, Charlie's in the power position. Okay, right? Cenk is here to bend the knee. Cenk cannot make any demands. Cenk cannot extract any concessions. Cenk will get nothing.
What I got out of that, guys.
I'm just trying to be the interpreter.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of applause and there was some consternation, right? I'll take it. It's a start. So, guys, when we can even disagree about what's constitutional, Second Amendment, housing, etc. But just let's treat everyone as Americans. And I say that to the right and I say it to the left.
For sure. So we're going to go a little overtime because I know the boss here.
And for sure, yeah. Like I mean, like he doesn't even.
For sure, yeah. Whatever.
There's no payoff for this. Like, yeah, shut the fuck up, and then let's move on to that. Like,
I want to ask about free speech, and then I want to try to say, can we get one or two action items that this community can get behind in this new Congress and this presidency that are populist that maybe we can push for and advocate for? I want to try to maybe see if we could brainstorm that together. Number one, first on free speech. Do you think that the left, and you are an exception, is ready to embrace a robust, spirited culture of freedom of speech?
Pause.
Oh, yes. Actually, wait a minute. Guys, I'm going to ruin it for you. I pre-watched this. This is where Cenk finds his courage. He picks up the microphone. He says, you know what we can get behind in this Congress and this president is to pass the Press Act. It's to call on President Trump to stop suing media outlets that he doesn't like, to stop threatening to go after NBC and MSNBC and other media outlets he doesn't like in an unprecedented way. Thank God President Biden never threatened to go after Fox.
And the Des Moines Register.
Yeah, the Des Moines Register, all these things. I know, because we're all free speech, enthusiasts here, if not absolutists. We can all unite and demand that Donald Trump stop threatening the press.
This is where I've been studying like a lot of kind of like to prepare myself for the midterms, like more debate tactics to win debates. And Tim Pool is just such a great way to respond to things when you talk about like potentially fascist or authoritarian things the government does. And it was when Luke was asking, like, don't you think it's like, didn't you see that Donald Trump is suing, media outlets? So
yeah,
it's not illegal. So
no,
so right. It's not illegal. So what a great response.
He's a private citizen. He's a private citizen.
So
Stephen, he has the right to do it. Yeah.
He said he wanted to shut them down. He hasn't done it yet, has he? So like, oh fuck me. Okay.
Or Cenk will say, or Cenk will say, you know what? We can call as an action item. We can unite and call on Donald Trump to withdraw Kash Patel's nomination to be FBI director, given all the unhinged things that Patel has said about punishing people who have exercised their free speech and free expression. That's what we can do as an action item. I'm sure he'll say that.
Yeah. And just before we resume, even the framing here is putting Cenk in the cuck seat, because he's like, it's about time for the left to embrace free speech, because we on the right have been so pro free speech.
Yeah. Is ready to embrace a robust, spirited culture of freedom of speech where disagreement is welcome, where you're able to have these kind of dialogues and forums. And I think it's a tragedy. It seems to be that more the right is willing to do it. Prove me wrong if that really is the case.
Yeah, I'm trying to remind the left of who we are, because the left is supposed to be for freedom of speech. The left needs freedom. If you're gay or you're trans or you're Muslim or you're someone that was otherized at some point in your life, you need freedom more than anyone else does. You need equality more than anyone else does. You need justice more than anyone else does. So if you want those things, you've got to reciprocate. So you've got to not, I want you guys to not assume that we hate you or that we're evil or that we're bad. But if we're going to do that, the left wing has to do the same. They have to assume that you're not evil.
We?
Yeah.
Did he say we as in him and
because he's the voice
Charlie?
of all the progressives. No, he meant we as in like all the progressives, yeah.
Okay. Don't hate them, and you're not all of these things. So I know from time to time we'll still get back into the battles and we'll still call each other names, right? But overall, if we can begin to not hate each other, and so when we disagree, let's try two more real quick here. When we disagree, can we agree to not hate each other?
Wow.
No, actually.
That's
no,
so
actually.
brave.
I want to oppose my enemy. MAG is my enemy, and I'm going to be a patriot. I'm going to defend this country from the thieves and the traitors who want to destroy it. So no, Cenk, that's not what I'm going to do.
All right, excellent. And when we have these fights, to Charlie's point, can we, for the first time in my lifetime, begin to actually listen to one another? And Charlie, I'll give you credit on this, because one of the turning points, if you will,
good one, dude.
In how I started to do the right wing
is puns in front of Charlie Kirk. He's making puns in front of Charlie Kirk. He bent the knee, bro. Look at this fucking loser.
At the RNC, and we started talking about banning private equity from buying residential real estate,
which I totally agree with. That the young people in this audience should not have to compete against BlackRock to be able to own a home. Do you guys agree?
So brave.
So
the funny thing.
Hey, that's one policy.
Cenk should just say, wait a second, Charlie. I thought we said that owning a house wasn't a constitutional right. Why would you care if BlackRock is buying the homes versus an American citizen? So
we've got a populist plank on TYT.com that's one of the 6 pillars, right? And all my life, I go on Republican shows, I go on right-wing shows. When I say something against the bankers, they're like, no, the bankers are great, the bankers are great. I was so frustrated. And now, all of a sudden, we got the right-wing populists saying, let's ban the bankers from buying our homes so they don't drive up the prices. Yes! The left, take yes.
What does banker mean in this? Is that just anybody that works with money? Is that... Like a financial institution, or like a Vanguard,
BlackRock
like
a bank?
Yeah, like what does banker mean here? Are we just, do we mean Jews, or I don't know what the okay.
Like is a bank allowed to like
I don't even know
repossess a home if because obviously like a mortgage is a lien on a home, and you know they have the right to repossess it. So are we like not gonna let banks?
No, I mean he's talking about like BlackRock and shit, but there's like private equity. Are these like
but he said
bankers?
banks.
Yeah, I know.
Wait,
I don't know what he means.
BlackRock a bank?
No, but I think he's just calling them bankers. It's just a weird. I don't know. It's a weird term. Whatever.
No, he just said that we're gonna ban banks.
He's talking
from
about
owning
BlackRock, though.
homes.
That's what he's talking about. Yeah.
What
do you say, bank?
Yes. The left, take yes for an answer. Take yes for an answer. And look, what I said online on X was, at least what we got out of this election is, we're no longer in an establishment prison. Now we're in the populist woods, right? And if you say, yeah, but we're going to fight in the populist woods, yes. But at least we're all human out here.
We're gonna get murdered in the populous woods. We're gonna get raped in the populous woods, and it's because of people like you, Cenk. Honestly, Jesus. I don't know what the fuck we have to do to get it across people like Cenk that these people are not your friends. Yeah. But MAGA is the enemy.
Yep.
We're all human out here. We defeated the corporate robots, and we've got more.
Defeated the corporate robots as all the wealthiest people in the world align around Donald Trump.
More fights with the corporate robots to come. But out here in the woods,
God, never mind.
When I see you guys, I don't hate you anymore, right? I see my fellow Americans. And so in these populous woods, we'll sometimes have skirmishes, sometimes we'll have battles. But the main thing I'm trying to drive with the 6 points of the populist plank, higher wages for Americans, time off for moms after they have a baby, anti-corruption,
totally agree with that.
anti-war. The reason
audit the Pentagon?
Oh, yes. So the reason I picked those is not because they're the most left-wing positions. Because
audit the Pentagon. Notice how they've, because on the conservative side, because you know Donald Trump wants to fund more war and more shit. What was Donald Trump saying? NATO commitments need to go up to 5%. That's like a 50% increase, I think, in our military budget, because I think we're at like 3.5%. So we would have to increase it by a full like 1.5 points. But so now the conservative messaging on that has changed to just, well, audit the Pentagon so that we can see where all of our extra money is going towards.
Yeah. Trump wanted to get rid of the debt ceiling to decrease military spending.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
yes. So the reason I picked those is not because they're the most left-wing positions, because those are the positions we all agree on, right? And God help the establishment if we actually work together to do those things. And finally, to the heart of your question, Charlie, you know,
Nancy Pelosi is in the hospital getting hip replacement surgery, the last vestige of whatever establishment that like Joe Biden is one trip in the beach away from calling it quits. And he's still going after them like they're a viable political force in the Republican Party.
I will say, though, and my feelings on this are stronger than my knowledge, so maybe I'm missing something, but I love Nancy Pelosi, okay? I would give my life for Nancy Pelosi.
Not after what you did to AOC.
Yeah, that's just what I was just going to say. I will say, though, a rare fuck Nancy. I don't know why you wouldn't support, unless there's stuff that I'm just not aware of, I don't know about behind the scenes, who seems like an exceptionally well-suited person to be potential future leader of the Democratic Party. And exceptionally well. She's young, she had the left, she's active, she's intelligent, she's mastered social media, she thrives in alternative space. This is like your dream person, and is not like abandoning the House for greater, like I don't know if you'd go from the House to the governor, I want to be president, whatever, like wants to like further, like God. I don't understand that.
And I just want to say, I'm sorry.
Who is the person?
Connolly. And listen, he's done some good things, but I just want to say, I'm sorry to get the vibes down. Have you guys ever lived with someone who've had cancer before?
Yeah.
Or like you see them when they're fighting cancer. Physically change, and I've said this before, where like walking down the driveway as just like the daily form of exercise becomes like an insurmountable task, and their entire existence becomes about avoiding pain. Fighting cancer is no fucking joke, and this guy's 74 years old. It's not. I'm not trying to say that he's a bad person or anything like that.
Wait a second. Wait. Does he have cancer too?
Connolly has esophageal cancer.
Oh yeah, Jerry Connolly. Yeah, he's 74 years old and he has throat cancer. Yeah.
It's not funny. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. I'm sorry. Okay.
But like, why? Why are we doing this?
Seniority. That's it. I mean, seniority and
what did the Spanish have to do with this?
See what you did. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. 1 minute left.
And
Sorry,
reportedly there's still a grudge between AOC and Pelosi because I think when AOC first got into Congress, she did a sit-in in Pelosi's office or something like that, but that was like 6 years ago. So
yeah,
sad.
Cut the Pentagon. Make sure the generals cannot work for the military-industrial complex afterwards.
Oh, if any of you guys played Metal Gear Solid 3,
no,
I hate you. Fuck. This is actually
my brother did.
Pelosi's a true patriot, actually, and this was her last patriotic mission where everybody was going to hate her, and she knows it, and AOC knows it. But what Pelosi's doing is she knows that the next year or two are going to be insanely fucking unstable, and she doesn't want to risk throwing AOC into a position that might condemn her political future. So she's choosing a guy who's going to die in a few years fucking anyway, and then AOC's going to be after. Okay.
And free Edward Snowden.
No,
I agree.
Fuck no.
So
someone check those fucking invoices.
Yeah.
Let's see if they're not from Edward Gregorian.
beautiful that we have populist agreement on the right and the left on those issues. So I'm asking you guys, let's make those a reality.
Fucking A also, yeah, fuck. It's so funny because I hated AOC so much 6 years ago, and I think she might be my favorite politician now. Can I also give that a huge shout out because motherfucking AOC, okay? When we talk about did you support the candidate and you have to, go through all their videos, I'm like, oh, the genocide, blah, blah. Motherfucking AOC, this chick is doing fucking Instagram live stories, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about how important it is for no matter what you hear, no matter what's going on, the division of the parties, we gotta vote for Biden. She was out there full force supporting Biden.
Yep.
It was unquestionable. You didn't have to even think for a second, if she was supporting, fuck, yeah.
And so was Ilhan Omar and other members of the squad, not all of them, but some. And that's the thing. Despite stark principled disagreements on foreign policy, it wasn't just narcissism of small differences. There were major disagreements.
Send Biden to the Hague, but also don't let him not be the candidate.
Yeah, but I mean they never said that. But my point is that
just
despite all the incentive in the world, to virtue signal, they didn't. Ron Klain, President Biden's former chief of staff, said that the Progressive Caucus, like AOC and Pramila Jayapal and Bernie Sanders, they were closer allies to Biden than Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, that the progressives had Biden's back more often than the moderates.
Issues. So I'm asking you guys, let's make those a reality, because right now, a lot of my friends on the left don't believe you. They think, they can't possibly be telling the truth.
Just real quick, I don't know why Cenk is saying he's acting like Trump has promised to do all these progressive things, and he's just saying he's going to follow through on it. Trump has promised the exact. What are you talking about?
Right? No way they're going to cut the Pentagon. No way they're going to have a.
He just said NATO spending to 5%. Where is Donald Trump? He's always talked about rebuilding the military and having a stronger. Where is his talk of cutting military spend? Has Trump ever said? Has he said that in the last 4 years? We need to cut the military spend. Has Trump ever said that?
Of interest rule for the generals. No way they're going to do any of this. Right? Prove them wrong. Prove them that you are actual populists, that you do mean it, and that we can work together to get those things done.
This is Jenkins thinking, this is my huge applause moment where they're all going to fucking come out in my favor, and they're there's 3 people clapping.
Populists, that you prove them wrong. Prove them that you are actual populists, that you do mean it, and that we can work together to get those things done.
Cenk, thank you so much. Guys, that was great. Thank you.
Jesus. I need to real quick. 1 second.
That was sad.
Suspected United Health.
Wait, you guys can talk. I'm used to Beth.
I know.
I'm marinating in it. I'm marinating it.
I'm sitting in it, bro. This is wild, dude. I've never seen such a.
I saw a thing on the Young Turks the other day, Pisco, where he said he was going to be speaking at America Fest, and he said, "For those of you who doubt me, those of you who think that I'm turning to the right, just you watch this." You watch me at America Fest, and then you tell me. You tell me if I'm turning to the right. Yeah.
Bro, it is unconscionable. How do they? I think that their viewership is tanking. I mean, it must be the only reason. But they're not going to get viewers from this.
I mean, honestly, to me, as bad as this was, the tweet about Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon said that we should raise corporate taxes, and hanging his hopes on that. It was just so bro, what the fuck? To me, that tweet was dumber than actually anything he said here. And it's Trump leads a pro corporate tax cut party. He cut corporate taxes. He's promised to cut corporate taxes again, even after he won the election. Why? Why do you ignore all of that, all of it, and just hang your fucking hopes on what Steve Bannon has to say?
Yeah,
I don't understand. He gives a level of good faith and benefit of the doubt to the MAGA Republican Party that he simply doesn't with Democrats, and it's indefensible. And I'm hoping he'll have a conversation with Destiny, but I think he indicated recently that he wouldn't.
No way, no how. Not he had on his one of his contributors or one of his like employees who
Jordan Mule
disagreed with him. It was the most pathetic discussion.
Well, but hang on, I'm not going to rewrite history. Cenk has been historically, I mean, maybe it's changed in the past like couple of weeks, but historically speaking, like even when during the election, Cenk has been willing to have really conversations with anybody. I met him at the DNC. He didn't know who the hell I was. And I said, hey, we've got this thing set up, just right down the hall here on the corner. Would you sit down for us with an interview? He's like, yeah, just let me wash my hands. Like he's always just been that guy. And he even sat down with Crystal Ball, and she kicked his ass.
She kicked his ass, but she was very nice. But they need to go up against people who are like, hey, Cenk, you're a traitor, which is kind of where I'm at and where Steven's at.
It's kind of where you're at. It's kind of where you're at.
You never, ever confront people with genuine pushback. It's only people that are going to push back on things that don't matter that much. So like, oh, you're a Democrat and you want to debate my new positions? It's going to be debating about like how much should we actually support trans athletes or something like that. Like, I would be shocked. And I hope I'm wrong, actually. I'll make a strong statement here, and I hope I'm wrong, and I should be wrong on this. But I would be shocked if before January 20th, if Cenk or Anna have an actual debate about the money in Trump's cabinet or about Elon Musk. I would be surprised.
Anna definitely won't. I don't think Anna will. I'm just surprised I was surprised that Cenk ran his mouth about you the other day on the Young Turks, where he was like, I've kicked this guy's ass so many times. I don't know what the value would be to have another conversation with him. And it's like, you're going on this whole right wing tour predicated on this idea that you'll talk to anybody.
Oh, yeah,
historically, that's what you've done, right? But not that you can't get a beer
because
with
you can't, because there's no way. Because remember, the goal is it's Israel says this thing. The U.S. does strategic ambiguity. You don't want to have a conversation of substance about Elon Musk because it would spoil your position on the right.
Will you condemn him?
Yeah.
Will you condemn Elon Musk?
And it would spoil your position on the right. And there's no way you could make it congruent with your views on the left. So you just have to avoid it, right? You have to maintain that ambiguity around those issues. You can only talk about things that aren't that important. Yeah.
Like I would ask questions like, who do you think is worse for American democracy, Elon Musk or Nancy Pelosi? Who's a bigger threat to progressive policies, Elon Musk or Joe Biden? All these questions, he cannot answer Elon Musk because it's a grift or because he's trying to angle for some position or angle for an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't he covered Musk's intervention in the government shutdown, and even his pushback there was kind of tepid. He was like, say what?
Sorry, so tepid.
Yeah, it was like he was like, I don't know if he just doesn't know what he's doing or if he's just trying to troll. He's so charitable even with Elon Musk. I'm like, Elon Musk, the relationship between Musk and MAGA is not only a nexus of corruption, it's the very embodiment of the thing, right before our very eyes, and then dialed up to 11 of the thing that you constantly complain about in the Democratic Party. And again, I'm not going to say that, there isn't big money in the Democratic Party, and I'm not saying that there's not corruption in the Democratic Party, but Kamala Harris had more than twice the amount of small dollar donors than Trump. There is no Elon Musk equivalent in the Democratic Party. And in even what Musk did with his government shutdown thing, that's unprecedented. We have never seen anything like this. You have Mike Johnson, the highest ranking elected Republican at the moment, till Trump takes office, saying that, I just got off the phone with President Trump and Elon Musk. And it's like, Elon Musk holds no position. It's not even the chief of staff or, the vice president.
But hey, it's no different than Giuliani before or any of the other crazy, weird Trump orbiters that were making calls and doing, and yeah. I mean, technically, even Kushner just had it was a role that was just added to the White House,
senior
right?
Advisor.
It was like a bullshit ass role. And that wasn't a senior advisor. He was running Middle Eastern diplomacy for the fucking United States of America. Why wasn't he in the Department of State? What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's so sad. Have you? Because I don't know how you guys correspond at all. If it's just somebody his booker reaches out to you or whatever. But has there been any sort of direct engagement since your last conversation with him? behind the scenes, Steven?
With who?
With Cenk.
Oh no. But oh well.
What are you laughing at?
Happen? Dude, I don't know. I gotta go.
It's wild. But who knows? We got a fun 4 years ahead of us. We got to be more positive. Also, we need to find things to be positive about. Okay.
I'm trying to think like what you can possibly cling to with that. I mean,
there are real patriots. That's what I think too. And the Patriots are on this call, and some other influencers and some really, really good people out there who believe in the Constitution, believe in our republic, and are going to defend it. And that's my hope, because I see them, I get messages from them, and they're all like, "It's based what you guys are doing. I understand what you're like." So I believe they're out there. I truly do. They're not in MAGA. It's not MAGA. It's not right wing populists. It's actual patriots.
Isco, how'd you feel about Democrats not folding on the debt ceiling issue?
I thought those base as fuck. 100%. Yeah. No, we can do debt ceiling reform in 5 years. Okay. That's when we can do debt ceiling reform. And this is another area where Cenk is completely at sea, right? So why would you do what Trump is asking for? Because you have to ask yourself this basic question. Whenever like the worst people in the world are doing something, ask yourself, cui bono, who benefits? This is a kind of tactic that doesn't always lead you in the correct
Isn't that
conclusion.
the Littlefinger monologue in season 7?
No, sometimes it leads you into
game.
Sometimes it leads you into like Bush did 9/11, but you should always ask who benefits. And so if we get rid of the debt ceiling now under the Joe Biden presidency, you're giving a shit ton of political cover for Donald Trump to have his agenda in terms of massive spending. If they want to raise it under him. Do it under his administration so they don't have a constant talking point, which is, hey, we're only doing this because Joe Biden said it was okay back in your. So you're giving up that playing field. You're removing leverage that, look at what happened in the recent discussion. There are some Republicans who are not going to vote for a debt ceiling increase for nothing, right? And the Democrats are going to be the votes that Johnson needs because the margin is very narrow. Why would you give away leverage to get concessions from Trump unless you want to like just give away all of your power at the moment?
Yeah.
And then finally, like, why are you trying to make Trump's life easier?
There shouldn't be a single word said from the Democrats about the debt ceiling. They should just go onto YouTube and they should just get a recording of every single thing every Republican has ever said about raising the debt ceiling under Obama, under Biden, or whatever else, and just play those recordings back over and over again. Or you can say, we will raise the debt ceiling, but it has to come with Donald Trump going on stage, bowing his head and saying, I lied. I actually can't balance the budget. I do need to raise the debt ceiling because I'm incapable of managing the U.S. budget. And that was a lie the entire time. I'm so sorry.
And AOC walks behind him, ringing a bell, saying "shame, shame," that sort of thing. Yeah.
Then we can do it with no policy.
Yeah. No, we managed to avoid it for now. I think it has to be renegotiated in June. So we'll see.
And we'll negotiate it then, and he'll have to pay a price for Democratic votes, and that's the way it works. We don't get gifts for free here, all right? And we have a uniquely threatening presidency of Donald Trump. It's going to be worse this time around. And so, no, I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, because the debt ceiling in principle over the long run is a bad idea, which I agree with. I think the debt ceiling should, it's fucking stupid. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. But I'm not going to get rid of it now under Trump's presidency because it fucks with Trump.
Especially not under a guy who literally ran on austerity. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait, why do we need to get rid of the debt ceiling when we were promised $2 trillion of budget cuts? I'm sorry. Are you telling me that Elon Musk is overpromising and under-delivering? No way, not that guy. They're business owners, right? These guys are all billionaires. So fucking balance something.
Have you been surprised, Stephen, about how influential Musk has been so far just in the weeks since the election? I mean, Trump's not been inaugurated yet. And I know I don't want to misrepresent your views, but if I remember correctly, you were agnostic on Citizens United and like big money in politics, that sort of thing. Like, where do you feel about Musk and his influence, the amount of money?
I think the influence has been huge, but I think Citizens United, the issue is that, and actually I know this from my personal life, money doesn't get you anything. What you want influence, and you can't always buy influence, or rather you can buy influence, but it doesn't always come with money. Sometimes it comes with things like social capital. So Musk's biggest contribution to Donald Trump wasn't just money, it was controlling X. And I mean, like he bought it, right, in order to do it, sure. So if you want to look at like that as a monetary thing, sure. But just like throwing money at ads or
like
throwing
an
money at
in-kind
things,
contribution.
basically, yeah. But I don't even like to look at it as in kind because it's not. It's the social capital. It's like the cultural control. It's these types of things. It's not just a money thing because I mean, you look at the spending from both campaigns, and you don't count the acquisition of X as an expenditure. And yeah, it didn't seem to help Kamala, but yeah, no. I mean, he's been active. We'll see what it looks like during the actual administration. I don't know how the fuck you ever are making deals. Like, how goofy do you feel if you work in the DoD or you work in some department and you're making like contracts with fucking Elon Musk's company, this guy that's like fucking jerking off in the White House all day. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Final comments from both of you. Go. I got a quick video.
Yeah. Final comment from me is I hear it's a bloodbath in the DOJ and they're all trying to leave. A lot of lawyers. So
sure.
It's gonna be bad, dude. It's gonna be bad in the DOJ and shit's gonna get fucked. But much love, guys.
Yeah. See, wait, Stephen, are you doing a debate?
I pre-recorded a debate that I was gonna show my audience, and then I'm gonna.
Nice. Yeah. All right. See you later, buddy. Bye.
All right. Have fun. Peace out. Why are the Discord noises like magical now? Is that like a holiday thing? Oh my god. I don't normally do pre-recorded stuff. This is gonna be I don't like watching myself ever, but I couldn't live stream this conversation, so we're gonna watch this. Oh, all right. Jesus. Let me find the link. Hold on. All right. Good luck. Gee.
Hello, Steven.
Hassan Piker.
You know there's only one way to settle this, old friend.
Oh yeah? What's that?
I challenge you to a rap battle.
Bring it on, bitch. I would destroy Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson.
So you can school a couple of fascists. Look at me defeat a socialist. It's been a long time, Steven. Thought you got the best of me, but this ends here. Prepare to meet your destiny. Review your power level to where you won't pull through. You're welcome to the Nuremberg trials for part 2. Been around for a minute, deep in the grift. Goddamn, now you're in it. I may not be a redneck militia clown, but I'm still gonna motherfucking mow you down just like. You laughed as my dog died, no surprise. You do support genocide, Zion and shield dancing on Gaza graves. A Gusano from a family who owned slaves. You smell worse than a fart. Shane Kamala Harris had to drive us apart. You fell behind me, Steven. What happened, dog? And more than double your sub camp. Let's finish the job. Go away, numb the pain of run these streets for too long. Streaming takes all but everything until I break this all. A service job, day and night, it's all the same.
Like your motherfucking kitten, crib worth 3 million, you're still fucking bitching. Everything you say sounds like fucking word vomit. Put you in a hospital and wait for Israel to vomit like. Call me aggressive, that's a delusion. Against all slurs unless they're cracker or Cuban. Confused and believe all women with no excuses unless they're at a music festival and they're Jewish. Well, fucking liar, dude. The only liar is you. I picked it all on my own. Little bro, let's review. Fortune 500 father and TYT Cloud Legion. Off my career while you slept on my couch. Got a legion of dipshits like Rogan. Himbo disposition like a leftist Joe Rogan. War of attrition, 1967. Gonna fuck you up harder than K9/11. Dog, go away. Suck my dick. My name's Hassan and I'm a little bitch. And I love to play the victim when I face the consequences for backstabbing my friends. Bitch.
Going after my dead dog that hurts like a knife. Divorced and each second time you're losing your wife. Can't be child support, hear you dropping my name. Hoping some of this clout's gonna trickle your way. Here's my premises, you're a crypto-white supremacist. An instrumental Zionist, neo-lib interventionist. New platforming for Fuentes and ate chicken and waffles. Fucking disgusting and awful, so I guess that makes you my nemesis. Gnome fuck with a complex like Napoleon. Shalom cuck, brain so simple, it works so slowly. And like syrup, you're dense, viscosity, non-Newtonian. You wash up, each time to push you in the Smithsonian. You just like Daniel Day and there will be blood. A sociopath who chose his career and abandoned his son. And all his principles, so now it's the return of the king. I dethrone you so you can fucking kiss the ring, bitch. Huh. Bro, is that seriously all you have to say? All these years of no contact and that's your response?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about when I fucked your mom last night.
You can know him, fuck.
If I'm the Gusano, then why you storming in pain? Just like Arkin Jr. was starving worms in your brain. Trapped in a Hassan skull, imagine the horror. Like a brain-eating worm in a Neuroholodomor. You're giving me shit when I just started as a nick. When you clapping with these pirates who are blowing up ships. I see you're finally living like a socialist though. Cause everybody sees you getting publicly owned. Pushing Russian propaganda like a good little slave. Holy shit, at least Fool and Ruben got paid. Dunking on your ass like I'm Jordan from Space Jam. Knock knock Hassan, does it sound like a J-Dam? You're the worst of Twitch, you're devoid of morality. I divorced my bitch, you're divorced from reality. When you go down in flames and wonder was it all worth it? Like you said with 9/11, you'll fucking deserve it, bitch.
Oh, it's the hardest video I've ever watched myself. Please, God. That was Rowan's final rap battle video. Oh my God. Of his 3-part series. Did you record in front of a green screen? When I was in Texas, we recorded everything. Wow, IOBOBC, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. How long ago was that recorded? I don't know, I think like 2 or 3 months ago, whenever I was in Texas last.